everyone and welcome to my class. In this video, you will learn all about the clauses and the complex sentences. And by the end of this video, you will be a great writer because you're going to write complex sentences. Isn't that cool? Well, let's get started. A complex sentence is made up of an independent clause and a dependent clause linked with a subordinating conjunction. Uh-oh, what is this? Well, let's take a look at each one of these in more details. What is a subordinating conjunction? These are the words used to link two clauses. And the most common subordinating conjunctions are since, although, if, until, unless, as, after, when, and before. Well, this leads us to another question. What is a clause? Well, a clause is a group of words with a subject and a verb. And the differences between the independent clause and the dependent clause is that the independent clause is a sentence that can stand alone. It makes sense on its own. For example, people visit Paris because it is so beautiful. The subordinating conjunction here is because. So, let's take a look at the first clause. People visit Paris. This is a complete sentence. It makes sense on its own. So, it's an independent clause. The dependent clause, on the other hand, is a group of words with a subject and a verb, but it cannot stand alone as a sentence. Do you know why? Well, because it begins with a subordinating conjunction. So the dependent clause here is because it is so beautiful. This clause cannot form a sentence on its own. It needs another clause to make sense. So it is a dependent clause. It depends on another sentence in order to make sense. When we join these two clauses, we form a complex sentence. People visit Paris because it is so beautiful. Now the second clause makes sense because it is added to an independent clause. Let's take a look at another example. My family visited Paris when I was 8. This is a complex sentence. It contains two clauses. Now, can you tell me which one is dependent and which one is independent? Remember, the dependent clause begins with a subordinating conjunction. Where is the subordinating conjunction here? When. So the clause, when I was 8, is dependent. Well, I was 8 is a sentence on its own, but the subordinating conjunction is the part that makes this sentence dependent. And the clause, my family visited Paris, is an independent clause. It can't stand alone. You can just say, my family visited Paris. Usually when a dependent clause comes first in a complete sentence, it is followed by a comma. When I was 8, comma, my family visited Paris. Well, now it is your turn to form a complex sentence. Here are two simple sentences. I'll visit Paris. I'm grown up. Use a subordinating conjunction to combine these two sentences. Well, both of these sentences are independent clauses, but when you add a subordinating conjunction to one of them, it becomes a dependent clause. Well, that's what subordinating conjunctions do. The answer is, I'll visit Paris when I'm grown up, or when I'm grown up, I'll visit Paris. Both sentences are correct. When the sentence contains two independent clauses, that means each clause is a sentence in its own. But the subordinating conjunction's job is to make the clause dependent, even if it looks like an independent clause. Well, that's it for now. Let's just wrap up. A complex sentence is a sentence made up of an independent clause and a dependent clause. The dependent clause begins with a subordinating conjunction, and it cannot stand alone as a sentence. It needs an independent clause to make sense. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Don't forget to watch the playlist in the description below so you don't miss any lesson.